Haven't we been on a winner for truth and transparency on this show and across Sky News, actually, and News Corp generally, backing Sharri Markson's investigation of the origins of the pandemic? For more than a year now, we've canvassed the evidence suggesting this COVID-19 virus could have leaked from the Wuhan Institute of Virology rather than arisen naturally in a wet market, as Beijing has insisted. We've shown you before that despite all the evidence, the leftist media in this country and around the world has dismissed this story and preferred to run the official line pushed by the communist dictatorship in China. And they've rolled out only the experts who back their preferred narrative.
Look at the sequence of the virus. It does not look like it's been created in the lab. Nobody in the Wuhan lab had this virus. This virus is a completely new virus. So it doesn't seem likely that it's an accidental release.
Donald Trump has specifically named the Wuhan Institute as the lab likely responsible for releasing the virus. Of all the possible explanations of where this virus came from, how likely is this one in your view and in your expertise?
I think it's extremely unlikely that this virus originated in the lab.
There you go. And Media Watch's Paul Barry has been especially vindictive in attacking Markson's scoops, showing amazing confidence about where the virus did not come from.
So how likely is it that the virus escaped from that Chinese lab? Well, in short, it's not. We also think Markson should have told readers that almost every virus expert had dismissed the lab escape theory.
Well, this was just so obviously jaundiced and wrong at the time, and we said so. But the ABC has dug in on this all year. Now, reality has confronted them, and it looks a lot like a mess of eggs on their faces.
The US President has ordered an in-depth investigation into the origins of COVID-19 and whether it could have leaked from a Chinese research laboratory. A World Health Organization mission to China earlier this year said the virus had probably started with animal-to-human transmission and that a lab accident was extremely unlikely. Joe Biden has revealed US intelligence agencies are hotly debating both scenarios and have not ruled out the Wuhan lab as the source, a theory China has always rejected.
We will continue to press China to participate in a full, transparent, evidence-based international investigation.
How about that, hey? A year late, the Wuhan lab leak theory, so dissed by the ABC and other leftist media like CNN in the US, is suddenly being taken seriously, as it has been by Markson, the News Corp newspapers and this station, of course, all along. What about the ABC's self-proclaimed national COVID-19 expert, Norman Swan? Remember, he was wrong on this nation being overwhelmed by the virus last year. He was wrong on Sydney not being able to contain outbreaks without full lockdowns. And yes, he was wrong on this too.
This is a natural mutation jumping to humans, either directly from bats or through another animal yet to be discovered. But it's not from the lab.
And now he too is having to report reality.
I just want to talk about a story that's come up in the Wall Street Journal, some big sort of investigations into the origin of coronavirus and the connection to a Wuhan lab. What can you tell us?
So there's a group of scientists in the United States and internationally very critical of the independent investigation into the origins of the virus. I think they missed out important data. It's being reported well by journalists, Wall Street Journal, as you say. Matthew Knotts has reported on it in The Age.
Yeah, notice how he tries to pretend this is all new information, and he tries to attribute the story to his favoured green left newspapers like The Age, rather than recognise that others have reported all of this for a year.
There's indications that virologists in the Wuhan Institute got sick in November with an illness. So there are increasing signs that the Institute of Virology may well be the source. And interesting, Professor Raina McAtar at the University of New South Wales has always said this is a likely possibility.
There you go. He should have been onto this all along, hey? It's just extraordinary to see them backflip and not actually credit where the journalism has come from here and actually admit that they've been running the wrong line, the line out of Beijing, actually, for the past year. Kel, this is extraordinary journalism by Sharri Markson, but a lot of other people have taken it seriously.
Yes.
So many denied it until now. What, they waited for Joe Biden to accept it?
Well, I was looking at this and I thought part of what this is a test case. It's a litmus test, which I think exposes a wider problem. It's not just that they're wrong about this. Too many people at the ABC, presenters and producers, lack epistemological humility. Epistemology is knowledge. It's what we know and how we know it and how certain we are of it. They don't seem to be prepared to be comfortable saying we're uncertain about this. So in other words, they want to have a kind of hubris, a kind of arrogance, whatever they're talking about, whether it's this or something else. They are not prepared to say, this is an uncertain area, these are the possibilities, and shut up. Instead, they want to suddenly be the total experts on everything.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry, that's infantile.
It is. And something like this, you've got to look at the options, the possibilities, and demand more knowledge, support more investigations. And, Gemma, there's politics here, though. The reason they've denied it for a year is not necessarily because it's the line out of Beijing. They don't want to run the communist propaganda. But they didn't want to run a line that Donald Trump was running, that they thought might be politically helpful to Donald Trump. So they've just quashed it as often as they could.
Well, it would definitely seem that that's part of a big part of the case, because the former president was laughed at by sections of the media for what was always this is the thing, it was always a credible theory.
Absolutely.
And to Kel's point, hearty cheers from an ex-journalist and an ex-chief of staff. When you don't know the answer, it's your responsibility, in the interests of fairness and accuracy, to say these are the two possibilities, and this is why it's unproven.
Yep.
There's no shame in that. In fact, that is absolutely a journalist's responsibility, fairness and accuracy.
Well, and this is what they're reporting now, because this is what Biden has said. It says, we don't know, there's two theories, we want to find out. Well, hey, presto, a lot of people were saying that a year ago.
There are 18 intelligence agencies in the United States, which seems to me like an awful lot, and they don't agree on this.
Yeah.
Now, that's because they're intelligent people pursuing their own research, and certainty is not possible at the moment.
No.